Steve Arnold and Geoff Notkin are modern-day treasure hunters.
Yay! Numero uno!
They travel the world in search of meteorites.
Easily my favorite!
That's what I like.
Alien invaders that have been crashing into our planet for the last 4.5 billion years.
Yeah, baby!
On this adventure, the guys journey deep into the Australian Outback to one of the largest strewn fields in the world.
I think it's a snake home. I'm gonna go dig my little thing up over here.
Meteorites have landed here literally for millions of years.
I got a target!
800 miles from the nearest city, one of the biggest meteorites in history was discovered. Armed with an arsenal of hunting gear, Geoff and Steve hunt down under for big meteorites worth thousands of dollars.
Oh my goodness! Check this one out!
This is Western Australia's vast Nullarbor Plain, roughly 77,000 square miles of desert.
Nullarbor Plain is a legendary site for meteorite enthusiasts. More meteorites have been found here than almost anywhere else on the planet.
Scientists believe that nearly 700,000 years ago, a massive meteorite slammed into Western Australia. The meteorite was discovered in 1911, but it was in 1966 that two of the largest pieces were found. A 12-ton, now on display at the Western Australia Museum, and a 6-ton that was cut into slices for research. Geoff and Steve are anxious to start the hunt, but first, they meet up with Dr. Andy Tompkins, who's going to help them navigate the potentially dangerous Nullarbor Plain.
Dr. Andy Tompkins, I presume.
You guys could only be the Meteorite Men.
Dr. Tompkins is a meteorite expert and a research geologist. He's hunted this enormous desert many times and made numerous new meteorite discoveries.
They've officially found over 600 new original finds in the Nullarbor. We've certainly found quite a few as well, so yeah, they're everywhere. You can literally open your car door and get out and step on them. You can see this is the bottom half of Australia here.
The guys discuss hunt strategies at the Eucla Roadhouse, the last stop before entering the Nullarbor Plain.
And what we're going to do from here is we're going to drive northwest up to the forest station, which is on the Trans-Australia Railway. Drive along the railway to Mundrabilla, and then we'll set up camp there. And then the strewn field is basically right around there.
Okay. Sounds like the place to be.
What about all the highways and roads up here?
There are none. That is some of the remotest part of the world up there.
The Mundrabilla strewn field is more than 30 miles long. A monument stands where the two biggest meteorites hit the ground. Years later, two more were found, and the guys are convinced big space rocks are still here, just waiting to be discovered.
I think that Dr. Tompkins' unique knowledge of the area is going to be invaluable in our search.
Any strange wildlife we should be aware of? Snakes, spiders,
Yeah, well, actually,
alligators?
because it's been raining a bit, and the temperature's starting to warm up with summer approaching, you might see a few snakes around the place.
Okay.
So, just
Any venomous?
Oh, yeah. We have something like 8 of the top 10 most venomous snakes of the world here.
So this is the high rail that hopefully will rescue us and get us down to the site.
Yeah, it'll get you down there.
The problem is we have a large truck that is transporting our motorcycle, and the best it could do on the bumpy dirt track was about 15 kilometers an hour. So we burned up a whole day getting out here. One of the solutions we're looking at is taking our gear on a very unusual vehicle called a high rail, and it's basically a pickup truck with railroad wheels on it, and you can drive the pickup truck over the tracks, drop down the wheels, and off it goes. And that might work because here in Forest, we're right next to the Trans-Australia railway line, just thousands of miles long. And conveniently, there's a little stop down at Mundrabilla right where we want to be.
Dr. Tompkins convinces the guys to leave their bike behind. Where they're headed is very remote, and they'll be safer if the three stay together. Steve, Geoff, and Dr. Tompkins head down Australia's long, desolate Highway 1 before going off-road in the Outback.
it, guys.
The memorial to the king of all Mundrabillas.
This is Australia's largest meteorite spot.
The 12-ton and 6-ton meteorites were found only 500 feet apart. This monument marks the spot in between both finds.
December 66.
Anxious to get the hunt started, the guys grab their gear and explore a 2-kilometer area around the northeast edge of the monument.
Wow, it just all looks the same.
Yeah.
Scientists believe the meteorite was traveling from the southwest to the northeast when it slammed into the limestone of the desert floor, creating the strewn field, the area where pieces of the meteorite scatter as they break away from the main mass.
We are in the middle of where the 2 sets of big ones were.
Right in between them.
Yeah. Hey, look,
And-
there's a camel.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I still think there's something weird about seeing camels in Australia. It doesn't seem right. Well, why don't we do our usual strategy and split up, circle around, scout 10, 15 minutes, see if we find
Okay.
anything. If we don't, we move on.
Yep.
The first person to find one buys drinks for the other 2, and we get back to civilization. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, I'm going this way.
Because space rocks are mostly iron, the guys use metal detectors and powerful rare earth magnets to hunt.
I definitely got a target there. Is that really my first Mundrabilla? It's only a baby, but it's a start. Hell yeah. Hey, Steve! I win buying the drinks. Woohoo! Numero uno! It's always a great moment when you find your first meteorite. And Mundrabilla's a famous, famous meteorite. I have several pieces in my personal collection, but I didn't find them. This is my first time here, and there's a kind of unmatched thrill when I go, wow, that's my first ever Mundrabilla.
There you go.
I didn't think there'd be any left here at this site, it being so well known.
Looks like somebody almost drove over it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go dig my little thing up over here.
Here's your normal kind of buzz.
Yeah.
Just ground buzz.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what you want, the
It's a
real clean
distinct
sound.
point.
Yeah.
Hey, Geoff!
What?
Yeah, I got one strong signal, and I'm trying to dig to it, and I can't. I think my digger's stuck on the motorcycle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I
You
hope
want me to dig
is.
it for you? Or you want to
Yeah.
borrow my hammer?
Either way.
You got to get out of this thing where you don't bring your gear and you just think you can automatically use mine because I have my stuff.
Because you're reliable?
Yeah.
I just can't rely on you
No,
being reliable?
because I need my gear. That's why I bring it.
understand.
Okay, just this one time.
All right.
Don't get used to it. I don't think so.
There's so much iron.
In these clay bowls, it just every one goes off like that.
Here, let me dig just a little bit. Find my curiosity. I'm not getting anything.
There's nothing there. All right, let's get out of here. I want to go find somewhere good.
There, I want to try the one little target I got back in the hole, and
I said you could only use my hammer once.
I know.
To be expected. I didn't think that we'd find anything at all here, because
Yeah.
this is where everybody would make a beeline for. These little cracked indentations, they're called clay bowls, and it's where water's collected. And you can see from the big cracks in the clay, when the temperature warmed up, the water evaporated, the clay cracked. And these little clay bowls right here near the find site, very rich in iron. Now that's not actually a target. It's a wide area. That's telling me that there's a lot of iron in here, and it's probably full of little tiny iron fragments from the giant meteorites over there. All metal detectors basically work on the same principle. They send a signal from the control box down through a cable to a coil, and the coil then transmits that signal into the ground. If that signal encounters a buried metallic object, it'll send a return signal, an echo, back up into the machine that's broadcast through a speaker. So it really is a way of looking for invisible buried treasure. What have we got here? About maybe 20 grams. Oh, 28.5 grams. So Mundrabillas typically sell for $1.50, $2 a gram on the collector's market. So we're looking about $45, $50 little meteorite there.
Well, this is it.
Found the hole.
Found the hole.
There's plenty of bits of shale around here too.
Lots. Look at this. No shortage of shale.
Shale is a nickname some scientists give to weathered pieces of iron meteorites because the fragments resemble the common terrestrial rock.
The 12-ton one landed here. Although it looks like a crater, it's not really a crater. It's what we call an impact pit. The rock didn't come in and explode. It just hit and punched a little bit of indentation in the ground. They dug it out and left a lot of the shale behind.
Well, that's reading iron. Let's see if there's anything down there. My first meteor wrong. An old battery.
Meteorite is something we affectionately call anything that's not a meteorite.
We like to leave the place a bit cleaner than we found it, so we always pack this stuff out.
That's sounding good.
Steve for Geoff. Go ahead, Steve.
I don't suck!
Excellent, well done.
Ooh, Geoff. This one's kind of big, I think. It's stuck in the ground a little.
Kind of big.
No. No,
Hey, Steve, what's kind of big?
it's actually not kind of big.
Well, at least you found something.
At least I found something! Yay! And it's got this brown patina to it.
Steve's find weighs in at about 20 grams, which would put its value at roughly $30.
So my goal is to fill my pouch up, and got a long ways to go.
I just found an amazing lizard. I'm taking photographs of this lizard. He's amazing.
Meanwhile, Dr. Tompkins is off having a little luck of his own.
Oh, hang on. What's this? Oh, wow. Look at that. Awesome. That's really cool. Look at the pattern on that.
But we're in the heart of it. I know they're here. I can taste them, can smell them. Maybe it's just the flies I'm tasting and smelling. I don't know. Ah, they're here.
Steve's detector sniffs out another possible space rock.
I don't see anything on top of the ground here. Oh, yeah! Woo! All right! Getting bigger! Oh, this was maybe 30 grams, $30, somewhere like that. Yay!
Oh, that sounds promising. Buried? Oh, he wasn't buried. He was on the surface. The detector got him. I would have walked right by. That's a nice one.
Nice.
Beautiful patina.
Happy with their first day finds, the guys decide to call it a day.
Guys, I hate to break up the party, but the sun's going down and we still got to build camp.
Yeah.
So far, the guys' finds are worth an estimated $175 to $210.
Who called in the flies?
The sun and the temperature are both about to drop. The guys quickly set up camp.
Meteorites often fall in the most inconvenient places, and if we're going to be efficient in our work in remote locations like this, we have to camp. The best part about this is we're literally camped in the strewn field, so there's something almost magical about actually sleeping overnight where the meteorites fell.
Day 2, the guys are up early and eager to start hunting the next spot, an area they think could hold large meteorites. It's an 8-kilometer section in the heart of the strewn field, between two of the largest finds ever made. It's a lot of ground to cover in a short amount of time.
I think it's
pretty smart if we do some strategic sampling.
Rather than spend all our time at one spot like we did yesterday, we're going to do what we call sampling, which is to get in the truck, drive a half kilometer or a kilometer, get out and do a half an hour scout, split up, go in different directions, and we're trying to find an area that has a rich concentration of pieces. And if we do, we're going to concentrate our time there.
The guys arrive at location number 1 and will work their way to the northeast. They're certain they'll find bigger and more valuable space rocks here in the large end of the strewn field.
Run 15 minutes out and 15 minutes back?
Yep. Sounds like
Okay,
a plan.
let's be strict on our timing because we tend to
Okay.
get bogged down in a spot even if we're not finding anything.
All right,
Sounds like a plan.
15 out. Hey, let me ask you, I've seen a couple of these. It looks a bit like impactite.
Yeah, but see the little bit of shell fossil in there?
Uh-huh.
This, I think there's a bit of fossil coral or it's
Coral?
some sort of a bunch of fossil-y stuff.
Scientists believe that nearly 30,000 years ago, the Nullarbor Plain was underwater and home to a massive coral reef, similar to the Great Barrier Reef, which stretches more than 1,200 miles.
We hiked pretty far out on this one. There's absolutely nothing here. It's surprising.
Hey guys, how are we doing time-wise?
It's time to head back.
All right, time to head back that other direction. Nothing this far out.
The guys strike out at the first of their 8 locations. They hope the second area is more productive.
Very nice, right on the surface.
Maybe.
Nice patina, beautiful, reddish black.
There you go. All right, now who gets it? I heard it.
One, but a nice one. Probably about 15 grams, I guess.
Wow. Okay, which half of it do you want?
Exactly. I found the shell, you found the thing, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Is there something else here?
It could be.
Oh, dude, look.
Oh, there he is. Just below the surface. Look how close this find was to the other one. Just behind that bush. We've got 20, 25 feet between 2 pieces. That's what I like. It's a nice one.
Is that the shell again, or...?
No.
No, that's another piece.
It's another piece.
Well, we do get half each.
All
Nice.
right. Hey, Jeff, we only have about 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm ready to head back. How'd you do?
I just found 1.5.
What's a half?
Well, my detector detected it, and Andy's magnet grabbed it, so we co-own it.
Okay. Crazy kids.
Well, good job, guys.
The guys are energized by their smaller finds in location number 2, which have an estimated value of about $800 to $950. But they want bigger and more valuable rocks, which they're sure are here. Next stop, location number 3. Geoff, Steve, and Dr. Tompkins are counting on bigger space rocks as they make their way farther into the large end of the strewn field.
Your strategy of stopping and going out for a search, a quick search, and then getting back in and going along a bit further, having a quick search, I think that's a really good idea.
96, 97, 98. Okay, we're at 1 kilometer. Stop here.
Okay.
All right, good job.
Oh, there's one.
No, that doesn't count.
No fair getting them from the car.
Arthur. Oh, look at that. It's cheating on us.
There it is.
Seriously?
Cheating
that.
on us.
Ah!
That doesn't count because our 30 minutes didn't start.
It just started, mate.
Oh, man. Oh, look at that.
Pretty nice, isn't it?
That's a beauty. Gorgeous patina.
Wow. And we're talking
2 meters from the
2
top.
meters from the road.
Yeah.
Somebody hasn't been paying attention when they've been driving out here.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, let's start our 30
29
minutes.
minutes to go.
We know that hundreds or possibly thousands of Mundrabilla irons have been found. And there is also the chance of finding tektites out here. Tektites are a form of impact glass that are caused by an enormous meteorite impact. Sufficient to melt the target rock or sand into a natural glass. We're keeping our eyes open for Mundrabilla irons, for other meteorites that may have fallen here that are not associated with Mundrabilla, and tektites, and snakes.
Whoa! I saw something scaly and lizardy, and I've been thinking about snakes, and we got ourselves a little stubby critter here. Oh, I thought that was his head. That's his tail. There he goes. Take me to the big rock.
This section here, it sort of appears to be a bit of an old lake bed, and Andy spotted one from the car while we were driving, and it's so wide open here, I thought I'd just do a bit of scanning by eye, cover some more ground before I pull out the detector. Woohoo! Right on the surface, look at that. That's a beauty.
Got 4 different types of the rocks, the most common things that are around on the surface at the moment. One's limestone, one's a piece of lichen, one's a piece of sandstone. They're relatively uncommon. They look dark from a distance, and then this one's a meteorite.
Oh, beautiful piece. Lovely shape. That's my nicest one so far. Outstanding.
I can see that meteorite quite easily. And it's just a matter of coming in and going, there's our meteorite.
So I think this would be a den for some snakes. And if I was a snake, that's where I would want to live, I think, right down in there.
Well, this is probably the largest piece I've found so far. It's certainly the nicest. And we're seeing a real difference between the pieces that are on the surface and the ones that are buried that we dig up. The surface pieces have a really beautiful natural patina caused by oxidizing out here in the desert. Sort of a, I don't know, they look like old bronze. I think we've yet to find the perfect place, but we're working on it.
Steve and Geoff?
Yeah, I'm heading back. I just found a big flat that looked really promising. I wanted to check out. I'm on the way back.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
No!
No, it's just a tektite, man.
Ah, a tektite?
Yeah.
You're walking back to lunch. Let me see. Oh, wow.
Yeah, just a small one.
It's like a flying saucer.
Now, this interesting little sample is a tektite. Now, we think those formed when a very large meteorite hit the ground somewhere near Burma, and the energy of the impact was enough to melt the rock and blast it up into space, really, really high, and then it's flown through space and landed around about 3,000 or 4,000 kilometres away here in Australia. They're pretty cool little samples of a massive impact over in Asia.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I think you should try a new strategy, and that's walking directly in front of Andy.
It can be really embarrassing if I walk over something and then he finds it behind me, though. Whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily my favorite. I don't think I'd sell this one for less than 100. It's just too awesome. Hey, Geoff, I got a really, really, really cool one.
Can't hear you.
He can't hear me. He doesn't want to hear me.
He's always yelling at me about something.
The shape on this is so adorable. There's just so many little regmaglyphs, little pittings. This one has such a unique structure to it that these individual fragments that get broken off are just so telltale of Mundrabillas.
When iron meteorites travel through our atmosphere, they're often moving at a tremendous velocity, generating heat and pressure, and the surface begins to melt. Sometimes intriguing surface features are created by this process, and they're known as regmaglets, or thumbprints, because they look like little indentations that a sculptor might make in wet clay. These unique shapes are caused by a unique event. The initial mass, the original mass of the Mundrabilla meteorite, was comprised of thousands or tens of thousands of these little zoomorphic shapes made out of iron and nickel, held together by iron sulfide. Now, as the masses burned in the atmosphere on their way to the surface of our planet, the iron sulfides melted much more quickly than the zoomorphic iron elements. In simple terms, the glue that held all these little zoomorphic shapes together melted out, scattering thousands or perhaps tens of thousands of pieces over this landscape.
All right, this is our 4th stop. We're at 3 Ks from the markers.
I'll go that way.
I'll go this way.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go that way too. I just got a feeling.
Oh no, Steve's got a feeling. I got a target. Ah, there he is. It's one of the fun things about these Mundrabilla irons is they have sort of zoomorphic shapes, a lot of them. Like a dog or a cow. At least I think so. Steve thinks I'm mad, but that's okay.
This one's a dark piece of limestone, whereas this one's a nice meteorite. Check this out. Yeah, it's a bit of a rusty one. This one, it's got flakes peeling off it. There's a bit.
Got one?
Yeah, I think so. It's very...
Hey, I think you made it in the 30 minutes.
There he is. Nice, very nice sort of teardrop shape, though. Probably about 15 grams. All right, gentlemen, off to stop number 5.
Location number 4 produced a few unique finds, but didn't yield the coveted large space rocks Geoff and Steve are searching for. They head to location number 5, optimistic.
Oh, jeez. Check this one out.
Oh, beautiful.
Don't even need the magnet for that.
Oh, wow, that's the nicest one so far. What a gorgeous shape. It looks like the head of a bird of prey or... May I?
Cool.
Well, I guess nobody's been right here. It'd be
Yeah,
tough to walk
and
past that one.
Look how close the road is. It's only 20 meters away again.
We're doing very well with close to the road. I don't understand that.
I got one.
Hey, must be a few around here.
Area 5's looking fairly good so far.
So far, so good. What'd you get over there? What are you screaming
Look at
about?
his.
This big sucker.
Whoa! Threw my arm out. Wow.
Andy's getting very close to he has to sit in the truck part.
I think so.
Not going to happen.
All right, let's
Telling
get
you
on
now.
with it. Wow, those guys banged out 2 in about 30 seconds. I'm feeling a bit left out right now.
Sort of slightly magnetic.
I'm gonna have to change that.
Hey, Steve, check this out. I think I might have a stony meteorite. Fresh
Stony?
Fresh find. Stony meteorites still have iron in them, so they're usually a little bit magnetic.
Yep.
They're usually more magnetic than this, though. So
Right.
could be maybe an LL chondrite or something like that.
Right.
An ordinary chondrite is the most common meteorite. They're mostly stone and usually contain up to 20% iron and nickel. An LL chondrite contains only 3 to 5% metal. Find number 53 is unique and a nice addition to Dr. Tompkins' collection. After finishing at location number 5, Steve stops to record the weight and value of his finds.
Yeah. All right, so I'm way off. This little guy I thought was like 30 grams, and he's 68.
Yeah,
These irons are so
they're hard to tell.
deceptive compared to the stones.
Yeah.
So 68 at $1.50 makes it 100. I don't think I'd let go of this one for 150 now.
In 2 days, the guys have found more than 50 meteorites worth an estimated value of more than $2,700.
All right, let's
Area
go.
708.
But they are here for the big rocks worth thousands. Time is running out, and the trio skip location number 6 for location number 7.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. It's in there somewhere. There. Woo, yeah. So this is about 60 grams?
It's not the big space rock Steve is searching for, but a nice size nevertheless. Just a short distance from Steve, search area number 7 seems to be bringing Geoff some good luck.
Notice how it really squeaks, the detector? Instead of that nice, clean sound, hear how it squeaks? That usually means it's right on the surface, and this one is.
So there he is. Oh, it looks like there's a crack in it. It might have broken, it might have fractured into 2 pieces.
I'm gonna have to document that one. That's a very attractive piece.
5 minutes later, and just a few meters away, Steve makes another Mundrabilla find.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear. It's the sound of money. The sound of space. Oh. Snuck away. Yeah, cute little guy. Yeah, maybe 15 grams.
Another small find, but even the small ones add up.
It gets a bit harder to tell the difference in texture from a distance when the light isn't quite as bright as well. This one, when you get close, is pretty obviously not a meteorite. And I thought it was from back there, so the light's starting to make it a little bit harder.
As the shadows get long, it becomes harder to find meteorites without the help of a metal detector.
Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Geoff. How you doing?
I found 2 pieces. It's kind of smallish, but both nice ones.
All right, well, we're way over our 30 minutes here.
Okay, I'm just a few minutes out. I'll be right back.
But Geoff's not finished in location number 7 just yet. Thanks to the metal detector, he makes a third find, a 15-gram stone with a value of about $30.
All right, on to number 8.
Location number 8 is their farthest search area from the Mundrabilla Monument. They're hunting for iron space rocks, but in this area, there's an abundance of iron in the soil, rendering Geoff's metal detector useless.
These areas really have to be searched visually. And this could be exactly what I'm looking for. That looks like the real thing to me. Now for the moment of recovery. Leapt onto the magnet. Wow, that's a nice one. It's probably about a 50 or 60 gram piece. On the collector's market, $75 to $100 maybe?
The area where Steve is hunting within location number 8 is not as iron-rich. Metal detectors are still effective, and Steve puts his to work.
There it is. Yay! Wow, this is a chunk. About 40 grams, even at $1 a gram. It's a steak dinner, 40 bucks probably.
Day 3 ends on a high note. The guys head back to camp to rest up for tomorrow's treasure hunt. After 8 locations within the heart of the strewn field, the guys have found 65 meteorites worth approximately $3,300.
If you like stargazing, this is a place to do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just no light pollution out here.
Beautiful sunset tonight, beautiful starry sky. It's so wonderful to be in the southern hemisphere and see a different night sky. The southern night sky is more abundant with stars than the sky in the northern hemisphere that we're used to. And the Milky Way just arcs overhead. The Southern Cross is there. You can see the Magellanic Clouds with the naked eye. It's extraordinary. Had a little campfire, had a few beers. Really enjoying our time with Dr. Andy Tompkins. It's not every day we meet an academic who is as brilliant and accomplished as Andy is, and who is also a dedicated, or should I say, driven meteorite hunter. He's every bit as keen as we are. And we've been out in the field with people before, and after a few days, or sometimes just a few hours, or in one case, even a few minutes, they go, oh no, this is too hard. I don't want to do this. I'll meet you guys later. But Andy's just out there rocking it every minute. He's really enthusiastic, and he's a really good hunter. And yeah, he's finding as much material as we are. And he doesn't have detectors. He's hunting by eye. He's got a really good eye at something. So I'm tired. It's been a long day, but a good one. It was misty this morning, then it got very windy, and then it got really hot, and then there were flies. But then there was a beautiful sunset, and lots of meteorites. And now it's off to bed, and back to it tomorrow.
Well rested, Geoff, Steve, and Dr. Tompkins begin day 4 with a promising new plan of attack. They are convinced that the new strategy will lead to a large Mundrabilla trophy.
You guys have this really interesting theory that these two masses at the far end of the strewn field were at one time a larger mass that went further, burned up, and split. Now, if that's true, when these two pieces split, I think there's a good chance that a lot of other material broke off.
Yeah, I think so, yep.
Which means this triangle here could be a very rich hunting ground.
Yeah, I agree. You've also got a wider zone up there. These ones were only, what were they, 100 metres apart, 200 metres apart down here?
Real close.
Whereas these ones are a kilometre and a half apart.
Good
so
point.
you've probably got a wide zone to collect over there.
If there's anywhere in this strewn field that has abundant material that's been untouched, that's my guess.
Yeah.
1 ton or bigger.
Shall we do it?
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm excited about this. Let's think big.
Before heading out, Steve assembles a new incarnation of his crude but effective magnet rake, a one-axle cart made with a series of 2x4s, each affixed with a high-strength magnet with 80 pounds of pull. The goal is to pick up more space rocks on the drive to location number 9 in the large end of the strewn field.
I think this may be your greatest invention.
Oh, maybe. We'll see. Just keep a window down, and you guys yell at me if we need to stop.
Steve drives, while Geoff and Dr. Tompkins search the horizon for massive space rocks.
I think the magnet rake is a pretty interesting idea. It can cover a lot of ground without expending too much energy in it. It's probably not a bad idea for using when you're traveling to and from places.
Rake seems to be doing fine, Steve.
Good.
I'll let you know if anything flies off.
When they arrive at their final hunt location, they check the magnet rake for meteorites.
Let's check these magnets out
Yeah.
and everything else.
Hey, we got one. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, baby!
It worked, good one.
All right!
Look at that. There you go.
Oh,
Amazing.
we got a magnet.
And it was on the back.
Oh, yeah.
We got 2 magnets. Ooh,
So
they're
a
breaking off.
couple of them came off.
Oh, so they're getting, some of the magnets are getting pulled off the bottom and they're
Yeah.
they're jumping onto the back.
We lost one off here too, completely off there.
The rake picks up 1 meteorite, although several magnets have fallen off.
And I used to think these were only worth about $1.50. They're pretty rare. I'm kind of thinking they're worth about $2 now. $150? It's really cute. Well, we lost the magnet. One's missing here. One's missing here. And some of our outside magnets caught them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 10.
We're taking heavy damage, Captain.
We are. When you invent something new, you have to be prepared for it not to work and to fix it and repair it and try it and break it and fix it. And it's kind of a never-ending process. Not really sure if it's worth it. I've learned some things what works. I've got some ideas on how to improve it maybe for the next expedition.
With only a few hours left in their final day, they retire the magnet rake and begin to hunt the triangular area they think holds the largest remaining pieces of the Mundrabilla iron.
Hey, I got one. I've really got one.
Oh, Andy, check this one out.
Now we've got it.
Oh, wow.
Man, after all these little ones, finally. I mean, it's not, 12 tons,
But this is really big for this site. We've got the 5 giant ones in the museums, and then all the thousands of tiny ones, and almost nothing in between.
That is awesome.
What a rock.
Look at that.
Wow.
It looks like a dinosaur skull.
Oh, it does. It looks like an asteroid.
Actually, it really does. It's been pummeled by impacts a few times.
Give you $1,000 for it.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
In any marketplace, the larger the volume, the lower the price. The meteorite market is typically no different, but occasionally there are a few exceptions.
I think this is one of those rare meteorites where it actually becomes more valuable when it's larger because we never see pieces of this size.
Right.
So I would say at least 2,000, maybe 2,500.
Okay.
I'll give you 1,800.
I don't think so. I never expected to find a Mundrabilla this size, ever.
Well, your theory to go off farther downstream seems to pay off.
Yep.
Well, that was a joint effort, lads. The whole thing's been a joint effort.
Great
Congratulations.
job!
Congratulations.
Yeah! All right. Well, good job, mate.
Night falls on their final day with ultimate success. A rare mid-sized piece of the famous Australian meteorite, the Mundrabilla iron. This new find brings the total value of their bounty to an estimated $7,000.
It's been a fantastic expedition. Finally making it out here to the Nullarbor. It's really a dream come true. You read in the papers about wide open expanses in the limestone plateau, but you can read those articles all day long, and when you see it in person for the first time, it's mind-bending. It just goes on forever.
Gonna drive northwest up to the forest station. Hunting with Steve and Geoff has been really interesting for just as keen as I am, and they're really enthusiastic. It just makes it a really enjoyable environment to work in.
You've been great company, and it's really been very informative for us to have someone with your expertise here. So you're welcome to join us in the field anytime, any place.
Ah!
Wow, this is a chunk.
Yes, found one! It's been a great trip for me too. It's really good to be out here with guys that are so enthusiastic and really know what they're doing as well. It's just makes it such a good time.
Well, thank you. And there's so many meteorites out there. Yeah. Not just Mundrabilla, but all the other strewn fields, all the cold finds waiting to be made.
That's right.
Whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Wow, that's a nice one.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, Steve! Woo!
Australian law dictates Geoff and Steve will only be allowed to bring these valuable finds out of the country if they're granted an export visa, a process that could take several months, if at all.
Oh, look at that! After all these little ones, finally!
Well, Andy, we salute you. We don't often meet people that can keep up with us in the field, and
cheers.
And you actually put in even a couple of more hours than we did now and then. The big find today was just a huge surprise and a great surprise. I'll never forget how bright and, I don't know, out of character the color was, because we're so used to walking around and going, oh, there's one, and you pick up a little piece, and then to just see a really large piece sitting on the surface
that
glowing.
Dark red color.
Yeah.
Stands out when you see it.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, the little ones stand out, but
the big one,
yeah, I almost fell over.
Geoff! Andy, check this one out!
Now we've got it.
Oh, wow.
Western Australia is meteorite central. The biggest strewn field on the Australian continent, Mundrabilla, is here. And that strewn field is so enormous that it encompasses several other smaller strewn fields, including forest and also the amazing tektite strewn field that is full of these intriguing black glassy fragments that have been blasted all the way here from Asia. Australia is a big target, and a lot of meteorites have landed here. The reason that so many meteorites have been recovered is that the Nullarbor is an ideal search location. It's huge, it's flat, there are no trees here, and the surface is really, really old. The limestone chunks that we see on the ground here are millions of years old, and that means that meteorites have been accumulating on this ancient surface for millions of years. In addition, the dryness of the environment helps preserve meteorites. If the Nullarbor Plain was in northwest Europe, it would be covered in trees and there would be heavy rainfall here, meaning that the meteorites would already have decayed. But it's possible to find meteorites here that have been on the ground for thousands or possibly tens of thousands of years, maybe even longer. So it's a combination of factors that makes the Nullarbor Plain meteorite central for hunters like us. It's a vast open expanse, it's an ancient surface, and the dryness of the environment preserves meteorites for extremely long periods of time. There's almost no better spot on Earth than right here to find space rocks.
I was so amazed when I woke up the other morning and the light's just starting to form and it's all misty and Andy's tent's open and I'm looking around, where's Andy? I thought maybe you're going to start a fire or something, and he's way the heck up on the ridge before the sun's come up. Yeah. And that's a point you made when we were driving the other day, that you'd never seen the grass, even remotely like this, out on the Nullarbor.
Yeah.
And we just happened to plan our expedition to follow immediately after heavy rains. We were expecting to be walking out just on orange dirt flats picking up meteorites. We didn't realize it was going to be covered in growth.
Yeah, I've never seen it like this either. It's incredible, actually, to look out across the Nullarbor and just see big, flat, open expanse that's normally red. Instead, it's just a sea of grass. It's incredible.
This really is the wild frontier. The combination of the beautiful landscape, the amazing wildlife that we've seen, and the abundance of meteorites makes it one of the most exciting places that I could possibly be. I think Australia has adopted a little part of my heart, and I plan to return.
It's been a real joy being out here hunting with Andy. He's an accomplished meteorite hunter. He's found meteorites on his own, and I'm really glad he had a chance to get out here with us so we can find some meteorites together.